All right, 2007 Ford Edge. This is a 6F50N, and this really didn't move too good. It seemed like it had a clock screen, had no codes present. So we're going to tear this down and see what we find. And kind of just by looking at this unit, it resembles a 6070 out of a GM, and that's because Ford actually and GM had a joint venture to build this unit. This unit probably is, just to let you guys know, probably about 80% the same as the 6070, but there are some differences, and one main difference, other than the case is different and the final drive is different, the actual 3.5 reverse drum is different, because GM has an issue with the 3.5 wave plate blowing up where Ford does not. And we're going to take this cover down, and this is going to be a solenoid block where GM has the whole computer. All right, this does not have the computer. It's part of the PCM. So we're going to go over some another key point with a tag on the transmission for solenoid strategy, which is flow rate, and solenoid body ID. The tag here has to match what's etched into the solenoid body, but we'll go over all that as we get to it. I'll give you a shot of the tag as well. So let me get a little closer and we'll start tearing this down. Take the side cover down, valve body, and then we'll proceed with the back cover. So as many as Chevys as the 6070s and the 6040s that I've done, and probably in the last couple months, Chevys I probably rebuilt, I don't know, maybe about the last couple of months, maybe about 7 of them. And this actually is my first 6F50. I've done a 6F35, which resembles the 6040, but this actually is my first 6F50N. All right, so let me get a little closer, and we'll start tearing it down. Okay, so first thing we'll do, we'll just grab I took most of the bolts out to try to let this drain a little bit. Okay, so here is our solenoid body. All right, now we have you have 2 numbers on here, just to let you know real quick. Again, we'll go over this again. There's a number here with the solenoid body ID, and the number is here with the solenoid strategy. And what I mean by solenoid strategy is the flow rate of the solenoid, so the car shifts. The car shifts nice. Because you just can't put anything on here with any solenoid block. I'll actually get into that after the teardown. So we got a number here, it has to match the numbers on the tag. All right, so on the solenoid body, we have the output speed sensor, we have the range switch, and the input speed sensor. So we got to disconnect those. All right, so push this lock. This lock has to move somehow. There we go. Okay. Speed sensor. Okay. Input speed sensor. All right, so now I'm going to take the bolts out and remove the solenoid body. Got some long bolts, some short bolts. body. Let's take this out here. Alright, so that's here's all your solenoids here. Alright, that's what this thing looks like. This more than likely is going to be changed. Alright, now we're going to take the detent off. Okay, now we're going to get this valve body out, and I'm going to take all the bolts around the outside and these two and see what happens there. I like to try to prepare and you know, get some info on it, but really couldn't find too much. And again, this is my first one tearing this down. Body. Alright, so you know what? Let's move this out of the way. Okay. Alright, so next we're going to take the output speed sensor. The output speed sensor. Alright, this range switch we'll get after the unit's torn down. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do now is we'll take the back cover off here, and we'll start taking the gear train out. Alright, so I'm going to lay this thing down. Alright, now this back cover. Down here. Okay, I came right up. I'm going to feed this input sensor through. Okay. Alright, so just like the 6070, should have your 2.6 piston and low reverse piston in the cover, and here is the stator. I'm going to take this off, that'll get new rings. Here is a bearing here. Alright, so we're going to lift out the 3.5 reverse. Okay, here is the sun/hub for the 2.6. Now on this, you want to note where, how the steels go in. So I go by this, they all have this little one mark right here, which, and they all go in the same place. So, I mean, this is basically like a 6T70. So if you've done one of those before, this shouldn't be an issue. Like I said before, the unit probably is 80% the same. Here's the gasket. Let's check this out here. 2/6 clutches are no good. It looks like all the clutches flaked off, probably clogged the screen. Yeah, wow. Looks like we might be filling like a banner kit. I just want to get rid of all this crap that was in the bell housing. Okay. All right, now. Okay. All right, so we took out the, GM and Chevy actually have different names. So we took this drum out. This is the 3.5 reverse, and this is the 4.5/6 here. So the 3.5 reverse, Ford calls direct. The 4.5/6 Ford calls overdrive, and the 2.6 clutch they call intermediate. And of course, the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch they call forward. All right, so let's get this Planet out here. Okay, now we have bearing. Let me just reposition this so you can see as I'm putting the parts down. Just give me 1 second here. Okay. All right, so here's the Planet, one of the Planets, and we have a couple of bearings. Okay, so there's 2. So one goes here, and the other one goes around the outside of it. Just like that. Okay, now we got the sun gear. All right, now we got the input Planet. Okay, then we're gonna have the output Planet. And this one also, we got 2 bearings. Small one, and that one, and the big one. All right, so now we're going to take out the low reverse and the diode as well. I believe there is a snapper that may have to come out. So let's take out the low reverse clutch. Okay, low reverse clutch doesn't look too bad. Low reverse, by the way, is low reverse on both. Okay, so that's low reverse. Okay. And now I'm going to get the snap ring out. And I just want to mark this. Just as a reference. So I put that back the same. Alright, so I'm going to take this out here. Alrighty. That's the diode. Spins one way, locks the other. And now we're going to take this is the hub for the forward clutch, or the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch. Now it can also be called the output sun gear. All right, and here is the 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch, or the forward clutch, and that is going to be changed. Put those here. And then we have the, I guess I could call it the transfer hub assembly. We have a bearing here. Okay, and another one on this side, but this one, you know, normally is going to sit in the transfer here. Okay, so that's that. Now we're going to flip this thing up. This thing still may be full of some oil. I'm going to flip this thing up and take the bell housing out. So let me just kind of get set up for that. Just give me a few minutes here and we'll continue. All right, let's take this bell off. We got a couple of these hidden inside the bell. Long ones. Okay. And let's continue. All right, I think we got them all out. Okay. Now let's see if we can top this bell housing off. Another screwdriver here because these things tend to get stuck on the dowels. Alright, so that was a little heavy. Alright, so this stuff will pop right out. Alright, so we have a tube here. It's going to come out. Alright, we have the transfer here. This is also park. Final drive. Here is a seal. This comes in the overhaul kit. That goes around in the pump area. And I'm going to take this other, looks like a lube dam. Okay. That's that. Alright, so another thing left in this case is the forward piston. I guess we can just take that out real quick. refer back to this case to talk about that tag. All right, so let's get. So here's the snap ring. Then we have the return spring. And the piston. Okay. And so for now, let's just put that down. I want to keep the case on the bench because I want to show you that tag. Actually, I want to give you the tag. Okay. All right, so let's take this big piece off here. Get this out. All right, it's another blue splash guard, I guess. We're going to take the pump out and the filter. It just has 3 bolts. And it seemed like the filter was clogged. Yeah, the thing looks all matted down. Alright, so here is your filter. I'm sorry, your pump. Filter. Yeah, this thing definitely is clogged 100%. Okay, now I'm going to get this transfer gear off, and we'll have to take the chain that drives the pump. And I'll tell you, that's really about it. You know, torn down, chunked down. And here is this washer, bearing that goes on this transfer gear here. Okay, let's get that 810. Yes. All right, here's another seal. I believe this is for a torque converter. Alright, so let's just lift this out. And then you have, taken this bearing out, you have a seal in here, which is also for torque converter. You know, I changed that on every overhaul. That comes in the kit. And here is, there should be a washer here, which there is, black plastic washer. Okay, and there is also a Teflon seal here. Here is the, for the chain driven pump, and you have that just fell, a washer on each side. Okay. And just the front seal. So this, get rid of this belt housing. Okay. All right, so I guess what we can do is start, let's take the drum apart here. We only got one drum. All right, this is the 456, or as Ford would call it, overdrive. These things are no good. clutches and steels. That, you know, I don't like the steels that burn pretty good. So we will change that. All right, the 3.5 reverse. I have to release the piston. I don't think I'll be able to get this out. Alright, so what I'm going to have to do here is put this in my press and press this down. I get the snap ring out to release this. Let the clutches drop back a little bit and I'll be able to get the snap ring out. So I'll do that. I'll do that now. I'm just going to put you guys on hold for a minute and then we're going to talk about the solenoid body and the sticker on the case. Alright, so I'll be back in 2 minutes and we'll finish taking this drum apart. Alright, so I took the snap ring off. Should have let this thing drop down a little bit. And there is the snap ring for the 3.5 reverse, and out they come. Alright, so typical, yeah, don't look too bad. Here's the wave steel. And everything looks pretty good here. It's got 133,000 miles on it, this unit. There's the plate here, there's the piston, and the springs. That's 3.5 reverse. And the other piston for the 4.5.6 is in here. I gotta kind of, this doesn't come apart, so I gotta kind of make something up to get it out, which is not a problem. Alright, so let me just clean up here. I'm gonna get the solenoid body and the case, and we're just gonna talk about that for a few minutes, and I guess we'll wrap it up. So overall, this you know, pretty simple teardown, not too bad at all. Pretty much for this, I'm going to do a banner kit, all the pistons, banner kit with pistons, filter of course, and 4.5.6 steels. I don't really care for those. I'm going to change those. And also, more than likely, I'm going to get a solenoid body as well, because the thing has a lot of miles on it, and this is from a wholesale account. Alright, so I guess that's about it. So let me just pause you guys. I want to get this case ready and solenoid body, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we're back in 2 minutes. Okay, so here is the solenoid body that I'm going to change. Alright, and on the solenoid body, just like on the tag on the outside of the transmission, you have numbers. Okay, you have a solenoid body identification and solenoid strategy. The solenoid body ID number is smaller than the solenoid strategy number. Okay, so on this one, the ID number on the 6F50, the ID number is here, the strategy number is here. I believe on the like the 6F35, I believe it is like written here. You know, it's all different, and it goes with all the 6 speeds, the 6F50, the 6F35, the 6R140, 6R80s, you know, they all have this solenoid strategy number and solenoid ID, and these numbers here have to match, hopefully you can read the tag, have to match the tag number. All right, and basically what this does is it ensures, you know, that the 2 numbers match. It ensures that it's the right part and it's going to work okay. You know, it's going to work, the shifts are going to be good. All right, so if you had a number, like somebody switched out the solenoid body, and didn't, you know, maybe they just got a used one and put it on. It's not that it's not going to shift, except just the quality of the shifts is going to be bad and it may not be able to adapt. So, you know, it's all about fine-tuning and shift quality and stuff like that. So very important with these numbers here. You know, on this one, the 650 here and here, they have to match. Let me give you a shot of this this sticker here. Let me just move the camera. I gotta turn this case around. So when I get this now, like if I were to order one, I'm thinking if I were to order one maybe for my supplier, I'll get the solenoid body, and I'll probably get along with that a tag with new numbers on it. So I'll have to put the tag over this tag, and then of course install the solenoid body, and then I'll have to go onto the Ford website with my laptop and kind of reprogram the transmission to the new numbers. So it would know how to work and know how to shift and stuff like that. You can't, you know, I mean, maybe you can. I've never done it yet. Just putting the solenoid body in and driving it and see if it'll adapt. But again, it's all about, Ford, you know, does the flow rate, checks the flow rate. It's all about shift quality, basically, is what it is. It's not like if you put in, like on a 6070 that has the computer, you know, the computer would be in this area on the 6070. You put it in, the car is going to be in fail-safe. It's not like that. It just may have crappy shifts and it may not be able to adapt. So that's why they have these. You know, the flow rate and the solenoid body, so, you know, just everything matches up. Let me just give you a shot of this, this tag here. Let me put you guys on hold for 1 second and just get the camera. All right, so there is a close-up shot of the tag on the case. You know, here is the solenoid strategy number and the solenoid body ID. You can see this is, you know, a little bit worn down, but, you know, the last 4 digits or so you can make out to see that it is the same number. So that number on that tag has to match the number on the solenoid body. All right, let me just put the camera back original position. I'll be back in a moment. All right, so, you know, we'll zip this stator out here real quick. And we'll take the 3 bolts out, that T30. All right, this will pop right out. Change the rings. Okay, and again, you know, here's your input speed sensor. I'm going to change that. Around the outside is your low reverse piston, and the inside around here is your 2.6. But you got to be careful of how you set this piston up, because the 2.6 has to go in between the 2.6 clutches and steels, or the intermediate clutches and steel. So I kind of look at this area here and see how, you know, with the apply hose, see how the how these are set up, and just of course put it back the same way. And then you have your 2.6 on the inside. Both of those pistons are going to be changed. All right, so I guess that's about it for this unit. It's really not that bad a shape at all. So I just got all right, so just a quick update. I did install a new solenoid pack, and I did update the calibration files to that current solenoid pack that's in there. But before I did that, I wanted to see how the transmission worked, just for the heck of it, with the old calibration file in there, and actually it didn't work that bad. When I first took it out, it was flaring on the shifts. It chattered on the 1-2, flaring on the 2-3, flaring on the 3-4. And then it started, you know, after driving it for a few minutes, it started to adapt. It actually didn't work that bad, but I didn't want to leave it that way. I felt more comfortable. I had the equipment, so why not just update it to the latest calibration, and that's what I did. So when I got the solenoid block from Ford, and Ford actually calls this transmission control module, even though it's really just a bunch of solenoids. You unpack it, and attached to the wrapping is the new sticker, the one that we were talking about before. So that sticker goes on the outside of the transmission, and of course the first thing I did was you have the strategy, the solenoid ID code here, and the strategy is here. And I want to make sure that those numbers matched, with the new sticker, and of course they did. So I put the new sticker on the trans, I wrote the numbers down on a piece of paper, and I went ahead and updated the calibration files. So I hooked up I bought time on Ford, I hooked up my laptop with my pass-through connector. I used the one from Ease Diagnostics. And first thing that it did was identify the car and identify the VIN number. It says, it came up as a choice, is this an Edge or like an MKZ? So I clicked Edge, and then it came up with the car's information, and then it came up with the VIN number, and then it was complete. So then you click on the toolbox, and there's a drop-down menu, and I think the one I chose was programmable parameters. And then you click on that, and that opens up a whole nother window, and then you click on transmission, and it takes you through the steps. Within a couple of more pages that opened, I actually had to put in, the numbers from the new sticker and the new solenoid body. And then from there, it found the file. At first it said it couldn't find the file, so I clicked on the green check mark. It said, okay, we found the file. Do you want to install the file? Something to that effect, and I hit yes, or the check mark, and it went through the whole process. Took about 15 minutes. I cleared all DCTs if any were in there, because they say there could be some in there. Drove the car, and the shifts were very nice. So I drove it around while the car was hot. I let it sit overnight, drove it again in the morning, and by that time, by 9-10 o'clock, we delivered to the wholesale account. So it worked very nice, and the programming went very smooth, and it wasn't that bad to do at all. So I just wanted to do this follow-up just to let you know everything went well with the programming. That was the first one that I did program. So the next one I'll probably film it and walk you through the steps with the laptop computer, but again, it was about a 15-minute process. It took about 30 minutes to update to the latest version of Ford Modular Programming, because I haven't used it in like probably 7 or 8 months. And then from that, it just takes you through window, and it walks you right through it, and it actually tells you erasing current program, and then programming PCM, the bar goes across. That happened, I think that went through about 5 of those windows, erasing it and then reprogramming it, erasing it, reprogramming it, and then it says programming is complete, and then want to take you on a drive site. So it worked out very nice, and I had my battery maintainer on it, and the car worked great, and they picked it up, and that's it. So I just wanted to do this follow-up, and I thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next one.